Okay, and we got it all set up. Hey, everybody, thanks again for coming to Coffee with Impetus. This week we got Aquor Water Systems with us, and with us we have Iyoko Ishida. She's gonna tell us a little bit about them and who she is. And if you guys don't know, again, as always, the Coffee with Impetus is about coffee and talking shop. So, Iyoko, go ahead and give us some details of who you are and what you do, and what is Aquor.
So I am one of our regional sales directors here for both the U.S. and Canada. And Aquor, we're a company revolutionizing the way that people access water outdoors. And basically, what we do is we manufacture the house hydrant. We have one here, and it replaces your standard hose bib on a house, and you're able to access water 1 second with just a quick 1 second connection. And when you're done, you can unplug it, and you're good to go.
That's a cool system over there. How did you guys come up with the name Aquor? Like, am I saying it right? Is it Aqua or is it Aquor, or what's the right way to say it?
The best way is just Aquor.
Okay. And how did you guys make up that name?
So I think it was born of a Google search, but it comes from the Latin meaning of to bring water. So
Oh,
it embodied everything that we're doing, so we ran with it.
that's pretty cool. That was like when I started my business, and everybody's like, "What's Impetus? How did you get that name?" But I actually didn't know what the hell it was either. I was like, initially, I was telling people all the time the name I wanted to do was called Catalyst, because I wanted something that makes another chemical reaction, or something that makes something happen practically.
Yeah.
And it was taken, so I just went for synonyms, and I found impetus, and it was like a Greek word or something that it was to make something happen, a force that makes something happen. That's how it worked out. So kind of comes into play of what you guys do too, is like Latin to bring water. It's pretty cool concept.
Yeah, I like it.
So how long has Aqua been in business?
The Awkward name has been in business for about 6 years, and the concept and everything really began over 20 years ago in the marine industry. So the system itself has been around for quite some time, and we just recently, in the last 6 years, broke into the residential market.
So you guys have a commercial market for the brand Aqua?
So the brand Aqua is really like our house hydrant systems, the ground hydrant, but our marine deck wash was invented under our parent company,
Uh huh.
and that's where it all started. So,
Uh,
yeah.
so was that the thought of Aqua, to kind of like remake the hose bib system? Because you guys kind of believe there was some flaw to it, and if there was, like, what were the things that what were the thoughts behind it to when you guys were remaking that hose bib system?
Yeah. So with the marine deck wash, it all started with like people were bringing on anchors or with fishing vessels, like the catch of the day, they have to wash down their decks and everything. And with our parent company, our inventor, Richard Welcome, had a customer come to him and he said, "Hey, I broke my foot on a fishing trip on my hose bib that's on my deck." And
Actually.
yeah, he's like, "Do you have anything for this?" And Richard basically said, "I don't, but I can definitely make something that works better." And we had this come along. So this marine deck wash just sat flush onto the deck, and you're able to plug in and unplug, whereas otherwise they'd have to thread on a hose and they'd have cold, wet hands, and it was annoying. And you'd have that same thing with your standard spigot on your house. Is you'd walk out, you'd have to thread on a garden hose, hope that it doesn't leak, hope that it threads on correctly the first time, and then crank a handle to get water going.
Uh, it's such
So
a simple design, but yet it just, fixes so many other issues that people did have. Because I do know it's quite annoying, like, no matter, even if we had like a regular hose bib connection or a frost free, always trying to get that nut on. You're
hmm
almost like scraping your finger, and skin's just coming off of your finger trying to either take it off or put it on. And most of the times people need pliers for that. And
yeah,
that was, I could definitely see that to be a big issue. Um, that's sweet. I tried one myself, and I was actually putting one in, and it looks pretty sleek. I was trying to get it tied in so that we can start showing on what it does. But essentially, what's the mechanism inside for it? Like, if you can bring that up again, you said when you twist in, I assume there's like a check valve or something that it pushes against a check, and then it.
I can actually give you a little forgive me if they start popping out. I don't know. We'll go with the flow. So when you plug in, there's a valve in the back. I'll like lean forward, and it pushes that out.
Oh, that's cool.
Flow through, and then when you're done, the water pressure actually is what shuts it, and then that reduces that metal on metal friction, so it's not going to wear down with every time that you're tightening and loosening one of those valves.
So that's how it works. I didn't really open it up, but I knew I screwed up the first time I put it on because I didn't read the instructions.
No worries.
I was supposed to put the plate before it, and then it cinches up on top, but I forgot to. But that's a different problem. That's a me kind of problem.
When it came to connecting it to water, was it still all right, or what was your experience with that?
It was fine. It was great actually. The process was literally the same as any other hose bib. I just haven't tried it yet. I'm still trying to get the right angle connection with the valve, just so that I don't have to. I can leave it in if I want to, or I can have something to turn on and off for the hose. But all in all, the install is actually pretty straightforward, and I would actually say it's a little bit more sturdy than I would do for a regular frost-free hose bib. Because back in the day, because you guys have 4 screws instead, which is really really neat to do, because most of the time is stucco and plywood, and then we just drill through the stucco and we get to the plywood. And since there's 4 screws, even better than the other ones that have 2 screws. And most of the times when that happens, since there's only 2 screws, what we try to do is we put a backing behind there with a wing back 90, and we thread it on, so it has to be perfect to that stud. But with yours, since it has 4 screws and it's a lot more stiff, I find that I don't really have to do much of a backing behind it if I really don't want to.
Yeah, basically. Here.
Sorry, you broke up a little bit there.
Oh, it's okay. I was just saying that the faceplate is really good, that we have that to make it more sturdy onto the exterior side.
Yeah, you guys have a different color of it too now. Sorry for turning you off there. Because you guys have matte black. Were you guys thinking of having different colors for that as well in the future? Or are those the only 2 colors?
So we have our stainless steel, and we have the matte black, and we have a limited release of some like matte white covers as well that are metal covers. I know it's pretty new. It's something like I think of like just this week that we're really talking about it, and looking into some more finishes to see which ones are popular. So yeah.
That's gonna be cute. So for people who are new to this system, what is the warranty that you have on a product like that?
I feel that we have like one of the best warranties for people that are new to the system and everything. Like we really stand by the product. So for our stainless parts, it's 10 years, and then for all of the polymers, it's 5.
Sorry, say that again. What's the one that you're holding is 10 years, or?
So the stainless pieces, or the stainless portion, is 10 years, and then the polymer pieces cover in the connector will be 5 years.
Gotcha. That's a pretty good warranty. They're all stainless, right?
Yes. All of our hydrants are 100% stainless steel throughout the body.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm actually waiting to actually really see the test of time when it goes to the winter time, because I know you guys have different products of it. You guys have the singular product, and you guys have the vacuum breaker as well. So, how are the repairs for the vacuum breaker side? Actually, haven't really taken it out and really taken a deep look at it. But is it more so something that you can take off from the front and then afterwards replace it if it were ever leak or have any issues?
Yes. So with our ET model, where we have the vacuum breaker here, you can actually take a piece of like pliers or anything and pull this off, and then it's just all of the different pieces in there to serve it. So you can do it all from the front. And then with our vacuum breaker connector, I don't have one close by me right now, but the portion where the vacuum breaker is on the connector unscrews. And
that's cool, and at the same time, you actually don't have to turn off the water as well, because if you don't have the piece in, there's actually no water going through that product.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
What type of testing do you guys go through for your product for testing? Like, because you guys said you do a lot of the marine work. Does that mean you guys have it installed beforehand and kind of see the test of time through salt water and then how do you do the test through pressure, and what's the maximum rated pressure for these as well?
Yeah, so these are tested. So the minimum is 25 and the max is 125 psi for the pressure on our hydrant. And then when it came to the test time for the marine vessels, we did have these sitting on fishing vessels, getting used daily, or sitting on salt water during decades of time, and the system still was working really well. And then for testing, for the U.S., we have ASSE certification, which is 5,000 life cycles cycles of the hydrant. And then we recently got CSA, which is a lot more stringent, and they required 150,000 cycles of our hydrant being under pressure, and then a machine with our vacuum breaker connector connecting it, turning on the water, turning the water off, and disconnecting it.
So that's why you guys are going into the Canadian market this year, because of the CSA approvals?
Yes, that was the main thing that was keeping us from the market. People liked the design, people liked the functionality of it, but they just really wanted that layer of having everything be up to code, so nobody could tell them no, essentially.
That makes sense though. Honestly, like I've been always talking to manufacturers and other people trying to bring products in, and it's always Canada that's actually one of the hardest ones, because we just have so many hoops to go through for no reason. You know what I mean? It's just like everything's a money grab. You need a CSA, and then for valves you need CRN. It's just a bunch of random crap that you just have to have on a product before you can get it even out to the retail stores.
Yeah, essentially, as annoying as it can be, it works in our favor to say, like, when are you ever going to use your hose bib 150,000 times?
Yeah.
So if it's just for that, then it's going to live on the lifetime, like on the side of your house.
Definitely. So for the people that don't know, where if they're in the States or if they're in Canada at the moment, where can they get some of your Aquor products?
So for the States, we are a national vendor with Ferguson, Wind Supply, Hajoka companies, and even some smaller retailers. And we also have direct sales through our website. And for those who are Prime members, Amazon as well. So a lot of options there. For our Canadian customers, you could walk into your MCOs or contact OSMB through their Bronte collection, and we have our products available through there as well.
Great. Those are great choices. So if you guys are listening, for the Canadians there and people from the States, that's where you can get them. Yeah, we have about 12 people on here. So the next question I would want to ask is, I've done some research myself, and actually, you know what? I think you guys already went through this question, because you guys say you have the marine deck hydrants, but I saw that you guys also have ground hydrants for homes as well. So is there any details or something that you can, show us or tell us about the ground hydrants, on why you guys had that as a thought? Because, for me, I've never seen a ground hydrant myself on a residential background. I've seen the barn ones that you just come out and there's like a big handle to it. But what made you guys think that you guys wanted to make a recessed ground one?
Kind of essentially the same thing, like providing water access in a different spot. So homes that have irrigation lines going out, you can install one of these. They're flush with the ground, so you can mow your lawn still, go right over it. But you could plug in your hose and tend to a garden that's a little off from the side of your house, or use a sprinkler system for your kids if they're for summertime heat and everything. So I actually have one. I did have one. We did have one. I'm not sure where it went, but it's a cool system. So it installs flush. It essentially looks like this, and the irrigation would come up to the bottom. And we also have a PVC pipe that sticks off the edge, which once you're done and you unplug the hydrant, the water will drain from that pipe. We probably wouldn't see that many in colder climates, just because you have to have it go below the frost line, and that goes fairly deep the further north you get. But like in areas like California, or like one popular market where it's been like Georgia and Alabama, people have been installing a lot of them.
That makes sense. That's a good idea. I was thinking of actually doing a ground one as well in the future, but I don't know yet, just because I'm taking forever to get my permit process through, so that's really pissing me off. But maybe after that and we pass everything, I'll just do one secretly.
Yeah.
But some people are asking some questions for your frost free, actually, and
Mhm.
they're wondering, do you have different lengths or sizes for it? Because the ones we usually work with come in 6, 8, 10, 12, or 4.
Yeah.
Are you guys only what sizes are you guys providing right now?
So we had a few more sizes than that. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. So
Ooh,
everything from as short as a hydrant like this to as long as one like this. And
I
we
didn't
do
even
cut
know that.
well. So if we've had a couple of customers order anywhere from 16 inches to 26 inches, we can do it.
Does that? But then when you guys get down to 2 and 4, does that mean the frost-free protection is not as good on that kind of outside wall, or you think that it still works with a colder climate? And I wouldn't say we wouldn't insulate it, but would you say it still works just as well on that side?
Yeah. So our close couple, which is the shortest stem length, which is essentially like this long, has been tested to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can install it in wall. It fits within like 2x4, 2x6 framing. And then our 4-inch hydrant and above is tested to negative 30. So
Wow,
you can be in an area like Wyoming or something near the mountains and everything and have a 4-inch hydrant and still last through winter.
that makes sense. I like that idea. I mean, the other ones we've used as well before. I think there's so many calls I've gone back to. No matter how frost free they keep saying something is, it still manages to freeze, and it's always been freezing at the backside
Yep.
of the hose bib, and that's the lot of problem we have. That people get the misconception of what frost free really is, and they still don't add a ball valve or bleed their systems. Um,
Yeah.
but with Aquar, would you say that they would still need to do that, or would you say that because you guys are tested to a certain negative degree, of negative 20 or negative 30, that we don't need a ball valve or a shut off and a bleed?
I would say it usually depends on the application. So if where your water line is connecting to the hydrant is exposed and it is going to get colder, I always think it's smart and we do recommend that people blow out those lines, just because even if water was sitting in our hydrant and it's not going to burst, we can't account for all of the piping that goes in behind it. The part that's easiest is just that when you do hydrant, the valve does shut off from that back end where it is insulated and everything drains out. So you don't have to worry about the risk of the valve not being secured and then water still getting through and causing that expansion. But with our system, it's a lot easier. We've had units installed in Chicago during their like negative 50-degree winter without any issues. And one other cool thing is when it's connected, if everything expands, the connector will actually break before the pipe will burst and
Oh,
things will come out. So you can just let us know if that's what happened, and then the connectors are about $12. So
yeah,
wait to replace than the whole bottom half of your house.
that's a good safety feature.
Yeah.
um, so what are some things that you guys can spill coming out? Because I heard you guys were making different colors and looking for different colors for your next coming products. But is there anything else that you guys are planning on doing, on sharing into the market, that you kind of can share or tell the audience of something that we can look forward to, that Aquar has something coming up next?
Yeah, I feel like, we're starting with the hose bib. We really want to make sure that this is a great product. It's something that's super customizable out of the box with the different finishes. We're definitely working on some more certifications so that we can bring it to more people in the world. And then we just released some really cool ProPEX expansion inlets too. So a lot of it is just making it something where whatever obstacles there are in getting somebody to integrate this system, we're removing those as we expand into some other items. But if you do want to know more, if anybody does, they can become they can join our Pro Trade program. That's usually where people get the first heads up on things that we're developing.
Cool. And
Yeah.
if they want to be part of it, where do they go? Do they go to your website and sign up for it?
Mm-hmm. So aquarwatersystems.com, and then under the Why Aquar tab, you'll see a link that says Become an Aquar Pro.
Awesome. So if you guys hear that, you guys can be an Aqua Pro and look forward to new products. Another question a viewer has, actually, they were asking if you guys will be thinking of doing a cold and hot water outlet for Aqua.
That is our most asked question, and it is definitely something that we're looking into developing. There are a lot of ways that people can use our system as a hot cold. So you can either plumb up a mixing valve to the back end, or we have had people install like 2 hydrants side by side, one with a hot line, one with a cold line, and connecting it with a Y split. But we want to give people something more efficient and cleaner. So we want to, that'll be coming soon, the next step for that.
And by saying that, does that mean that you guys are actually rated for hot water usage for that as well?
I believe it's up to like 140 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay. Anything hotter than that, that'd be kind of weird.
I mean, it's a little bit excessive, so.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. We do got some questions. I think we answered the questions so far. I think some people might be asking some more later. But going to one of the closer sides of the show, I think I just wanted to show a picture of for people to see. I think we talked about this. I don't think there's much explanation for it, so I'm just going to show the picture that we were talking about, the ground hydrant that you have. Where was this for this IG picture? Where was this application at? Was it just like a residential home, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was a homeowner who installed into a valve box, and then they really just wanted to have another spot other than the senator to access water. And it's not showing up on mine, but I saw the picture before.
Yeah, it doesn't show. It just shows up on the Twitch and on the live stream. So that's why I kind of sent the picture before. But sorry, I'll try to find a way to show it in the future for both ends. But it's literally, I think it's one of your first systems. It has the little blue cap on there.
It is the OG blue one.
The OG blue color.
A lot of people have been installing them on the sides of their driveways for car washing. Oh yeah. So yeah, it's installed in a valve box. They have just like a standard straight connector hooked up to it, and they use it to like wash down their driveway and different things.
And from what I know on your website, you guys had different accessories as well. You guys had some accessories where, well, for people that don't know, there's the angled one where you can shut it off. There's a shut off on the side. So if you want to get those are really nice too. I should have got that one ready. Do you have one on you to?
We might have a removable faucet in here somewhere. I think someone's running to snag it. But I might be able to see something here.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll wait for it. But other than that, you guys also have the other accessories of hose bibs. Like not hose bibs, the hose. Like what's the difference between your hose and other regular hoses? Like, why did you decide to go into that market and also say, hey, Aquor has a hose as well? Is there something different with your hose that is different from the others? I guess the question is.
Yeah. So we offer a high quality hydrant, so we wanted to offer a high quality hose. So we have an ultralight food grade hose that has stainless steel fittings on the end, so you're not going to have something rusting up onto the connector or onto your nozzle. And then our 25-foot hose is 2.5 pounds. The 50-foot hose is 5 pounds. It's like one of our things that we'll do at a trade show every once in a while to like toss a hose to somebody, and in anticipation they freak out, but they're usually surprised at how big they are.
That makes sense.
But it's to the system. Yeah.
So for sorry, wrong. Something's wrong here. Okay. So there's another question from Mona Lisa Labrador on the YouTube channel saying, how long does it take to get one installed? What's the average time that you guys always get back that it takes to install one?
Generally like within an hour or so, but I might pose that back to you. Like, how long did it take for you to install one?
With me screwing around, probably 2 hours. But if I were serious, probably an hour. But if you're taking videos of you installing it, sometimes it takes a lot longer. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. You met the situation. There's more going into it.
But it's not long. It definitely isn't long, and I would say it's actually easier than the other hose bibs. And just because, you know what I like about the Aquor system of what you guys do, the screw holes are actually a lot more separate than the other ones. When you work with the little mini hose bibs, what happens is the screws are way too close to each other. So when you're trying to chip away at stucco and trying to really get on an outside wall, you kind of chip too much sometimes, and then it's harder to really get a nicer finish. Did you get the valve into the house?
Yeah.
I mean, like, did they bring in one of the valves earlier, or?
Oh yeah, so this one's our vacuum breaker connector.
Ooh.
So it has our vacuum breaker on the back end, and you can unscrew that.
That's cool. And there's the valve at the bottom to turn it on and off.
Yep.
I saw one of Matt Rizinger's video that before when you guys had the valve, was it because it was just put on backwards for him, or that's what you guys had to begin with, because it was actually backwards of him putting on the valve, because when it was perpendicular it was on, and then when it was parallel it was actually off.
Yeah. So with our previous ball valve, when the valve was not in line, that meant that it was on, and when it was in line, it was off. And that was more so for an ergonomic, so across as you're trying to grab it, and we wanted it to be a little bit smoother. But we did get a lot of feedback about that, and we have our black removable faucet. It's the opposite way, so in line is off, and then otherwise it's on. But one thing with our connectors, people a lot of times will try to plug them in the way it looks, but when you were to turn it, it flips it upwards. So one thing I would mention is that you kind of have to come in at like a 45-degree angle, and then we'll give it a turn.
To get that center. I've seen OG Plum God do it. It's a bit different than just a regular one, because the other regular one is just a little tube, and you're just shoving that tube in, so there's not really a top or bottom. But with those valves, there definitely are. So that's interesting too, because I didn't know that you can actually get the smaller circular Aquor and actually just get that shut off, because it comes with a vacuum breaker then.
Yeah. So that one, so like this one is our V1 Plus, essentially, when it comes with this. And so you have the vacuum breaker. It's a little bit easier to retrofit at times, just because it's a single 1.5 inch diameter hole to mount it in. But this one comes with 3 screws on the front, kind of getting blasted with some sun. So I don't know if you can see things as well.
Oh no, I can see things great. I mean, those are practically all the questions I have today, unless we have some viewers that have a little bit more questions. But other than that, like, what's up next with Aquor, and what do you guys want to kind of throw out and let the audience know of what's happening, or any big things that you would like to share for Instagram or anything in general?
I think the biggest thing is just that we've been really fortunate during this time to still bring in product, have more and more people becoming interested. We have our whole team available, so if anybody has questions or just wants to talk about it, they can give us a call. You'll reach an actual person. And we really just want to get the word out there that there's just another option other than a standard hose bib. Like, not every person has to go with an Aquor house hydrant on their home. We just want people to know that there is an option, and a really good one at that has a lot of quality behind it, and just be happy to send one out. So, yeah.
100%. And if we're not going to have any questions for the rest of the day, then I think we're pretty much done. But for other people that are listening today, for the bunch of people that are listening, just to let you guys know, we are going to be pairing up to make a giveaway with Aquor Systems. So if you guys are in this chat, maybe put your name down or just write anything so that we know. And we will be having a giveaway for one of their hose bibs over there. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get a V2 for a giveaway. So if you guys are in here today, leave a message. And other than that, thank you, Ayoko, for coming out here today, and thank you, Aquor Water Systems. If you want to follow them, find them right underneath there. And I think that's it.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for coming, guys, and thank Camille for me.
Yeah, I will. He's waving from the back. So.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye. And there you have it. There is Ayoko with Aquor Water Systems. A really short one today. Well, I wouldn't really say short, because technically I do want to keep it to be, 20 to 30 minutes. I think any longer than that, people really get bored anyways, because I can't watch shit for an hour. But that is a really neat system. If you ever do need one, I would recommend it. I've used it myself, and that thing is fucking it's like a bullet. That thing feels heavy. It's gauged up. It's easy to install, honestly. I found it's not because I want to, stroke their ego or say they're really good whatsoever, but I think when I was installing it, I liked it a lot more than the regular frost-free hose bibs, just because when you install these, they have a gasket that also goes behind it, and because I was saying earlier, the screws are actually separate from each other, so you don't have to fuck around with the stucco and actually have your finishing all screwed up. So if you're really interested, I would try to get one into your hands and order from them, because it might change your life. It changed mine. But we're gonna show a video on that soon afterwards. But everybody who was in there, just leave your name and we will do a giveaway, not for everybody in here, but you'll get extra entries for being part of it, and we're going to be teaming out with Aquor for it. So thanks again today for being on the show. Short show, but great show nonetheless. If you guys don't know, we got the version 2 t-shirts for the Impetus. It's the one with the full gold back, so you guys better watch out for that one, because it's coming to stores near you, which is the Impetus gear store, which you can find down below. All marketing. Thank you for coming. See you guys later.